Buddhist teachings offer timeless wisdom that has the power to transform your life. By embracing core principles like mindfulness, compassion, and impermanence, you can unlock a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment. Imagine carrying these teachings in your pocket, guiding you through life's challenges with calm and clarity. In this article, we'll dive into these transformative lessons and how they can help you live a more meaningful life for years to come. Outline summary. This article will explore Buddhist principles such as impermanence, mindfulness, compassion, the Four Noble Truths, detachment, and the simple yet profound wisdom that can guide you for 50 years. The power of impermanence. Why everything changes. Building upon the idea of Buddhist teachings, one powerful lesson that resonates deeply is the concept of impermanence. We live in a world where nothing is truly permanent, and accepting this truth can significantly shift how we approach life's challenges. Impermanence, or anicca in Buddhism, teaches us that everything, our emotions, situations, even relationships, constantly changes. It's a truth that, when fully embraced, can bring profound peace. Imagine you've just lost your job, a blow that feels devastating. You might think that your entire world has fallen apart. But here's where the wisdom of impermanence can change your perspective. In Buddhism, we're taught that everything is temporary, including hardships. What feels like a permanent setback will eventually pass, as all things do. By remembering that nothing stays the same forever, the weight of your difficulties can begin to lighten. You learn to live with the understanding that pain, just like joy, is fleeting. The beauty of impermanence is in its power to teach us acceptance. It helps us realize that we're not meant to control everything, and that's okay. In fact, trying to hold on to things or force them to stay the same can lead to suffering. Think of a tree in autumn, shedding its leaves. It doesn't struggle to keep them, it lets go. Similarly, by letting go of the desire to control, we allow ourselves to flow with the natural rhythm of life. For example, a close friend of mine went through a painful breakup. At first, she couldn't fathom how she'd ever feel okay again. But as time passed, she remembered the teaching of impermanence. The heartbreak, just like the happiness she once felt, was not permanent. Slowly, she found peace with the situation, knowing that, like the seasons, her emotions would change. Today, she looks back with gratitude, realizing how much stronger and more resilient she became through embracing this transient nature of life. This realization doesn't just apply to negative situations, but to positive ones as well. When you experience moments of great joy, impermanence teaches you to savor them without clinging. You understand that joy, like sorrow, is temporary. This frees you from fear and anxiety because you know that no matter what happens, you will adapt and find balance. Incorporating the power of impermanence into your daily life allows you to break free from the trap of attachment. It teaches you to live fully in the present moment without worrying about what might happen next or holding on to what has already passed. As you carry this wisdom with you, you start to view challenges as opportunities for growth, knowing that nothing lasts forever and everything is part of the greater flow of life. In the next section, we'll dive into another key Buddhist teaching, the practice of mindfulness. It's a perfect complement to the wisdom of impermanence and plays a crucial role in how we navigate life's unpredictable journey. Mindfulness. The key to embracing the present moment. Building upon the powerful lesson of impermanence, the practice of mindfulness is the perfect companion. If you've learned to accept that everything changes, mindfulness helps you fully experience the present moment, no matter what it brings. In Buddhism, mindfulness is more than just paying attention. It's about being aware of your thoughts, emotions, and surroundings with an open heart and mind, free of judgment. Consider the last time you felt overwhelmed or stressed. Perhaps you were juggling work deadlines, personal commitments, or unexpected challenges. In those moments, it's easy to become consumed by worry about the future or regret over the past. But mindfulness teaches us to step back from these distractions and return to the here and now. It encourages you to focus on your breath, the sensations in your body, or the sounds around you, instantly grounding you in the present moment. This practice doesn't just calm your mind, it allows you to see things clearly, without the distortion of overthinking. I remember a time when I was feeling overwhelmed by life's demands. I had so much to do, and the pressure was mounting. But then I remembered the power of mindfulness. Instead of diving into the chaos of my thoughts, I took a few deep breaths, closed my eyes, and focused on the present moment. Slowly, my racing thoughts began to quiet, and I could feel the weight lifting off my shoulders. I wasn't worried about what might go wrong or whether I would get everything done. I simply acknowledged the task at hand and worked through it, one step at a time. Mindfulness allowed me to find clarity in the midst of the storm. The beauty of mindfulness is that it's not limited to moments of stress or crisis. It can be integrated into every part of your life. Whether you're enjoying a cup of tea, taking a walk, or having a conversation with a loved one, mindfulness allows you to fully engage with the experience. It's about appreciating the simple things that might otherwise pass unnoticed. For example, when you're having dinner, instead of rushing through your meal while thinking about what comes next, mindfulness invites you to savor each bite, noticing the flavors, textures, and the joy of nourishment. This practice also helps you to develop greater emotional intelligence. By being mindful of your emotions, you can understand and regulate them rather than being controlled by them. If you feel anger rising, instead of reacting impulsively, mindfulness allows you to pause, observe your feelings, and choose a measured response. This awareness creates space for growth, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with more grace and composure. Mindfulness also deepens your connection with others. In a world full of distractions, it's easy to be physically present but mentally absent when interacting with people. With mindfulness, you learn to truly listen, making others feel heard and valued. These meaningful connections are at the heart of Buddhist teachings, reminding us to live with compassion and presence in our relationships. Next, we will explore the profound impact of compassion in Buddhist teachings, and how embracing compassion can transform not only your life but also the lives of those around you. Compassion, the path to transforming your life and the lives of others building on the foundation of mindfulness. Another profound Buddhist teaching is compassion, an essential quality that can transform not only your life but the lives of everyone around you. While mindfulness helps you stay grounded in the present, compassion nurtures your heart and connects you to others. It goes beyond simply feeling sorry for someone. It's about actively wanting to relieve the suffering of others, seeing their pain, and responding with kindness and empathy. I recall a moment in my life when compassion had a powerful impact on me. I was at a crossroads, facing a challenging situation where I felt overwhelmed by my own problems. Then, out of nowhere, a stranger offered a kind word, a simple smile, and listened to me. In that brief encounter, I felt a shift in my heart, a sense of relief and connection. It was a small gesture, but it meant the world to me. That moment opened my eyes to the power of compassion, not only in giving but also in receiving. Compassion is the bridge that connects us all, turning our struggles into shared experiences and making us feel understood and supported. The beauty of compassion is that it begins within you and ripples outward. Buddhists believe that true compassion starts with loving kindness toward yourself. It's easy to be hard on ourselves, especially when we make mistakes or feel less than perfect. But when you show yourself the same compassion you would offer a friend, you begin to heal. This self-compassion allows you to forgive yourself, letting go of guilt and shame. It enables you to acknowledge your imperfections without letting them define you, and it sets the foundation for being able to offer the same empathy to others. One of the most powerful aspects of compassion is its ability to transcend judgment. We live in a world that often judges people based on their actions, appearance, or mistakes. But true compassion sees beyond those judgments, recognizing that everyone has their own struggles and stories. Instead of pointing fingers or becoming frustrated with others, compassion encourages us to understand, empathize, and offer a helping hand. This shift in perspective can dissolve anger and resentment, replacing them with a deep understanding of the shared human condition. A beautiful example of this came from a dear friend of mine, who once faced a great loss. She was devastated by the death of a loved one and felt completely alone in her grief. But as time passed, she found solace in helping others who were grieving. By offering support, she discovered that her own sorrow began to heal. This is the profound power of compassion. It doesn't just heal the person giving it. It has the ability to heal both the giver and the receiver. In the Buddhist tradition, compassion is closely linked to the idea of bodhicitta, the awakened heart. This is the aspiration to reach enlightenment not just for oneself, but for the benefit of all beings. It's the desire to help others find peace and liberation from suffering, and it drives a deeper connection to the world around us. When we embrace compassion, we become more attuned to the needs of others. We are no longer blinded by our own desires and distractions, but become willing to make sacrifices for the well-being of those around us. It's in these acts of selflessness, whether big or small, that we find our truest sense of purpose. As we continue on this journey, we'll explore the importance of patience in Buddhist teachings, and how patience is essential to cultivating true inner peace and harmony with the world. Patience. The key to inner peace and long-term happiness, building upon the powerful practice of compassion. Another cornerstone of Buddhist philosophy that complements it perfectly is patience. Just as compassion helps us cultivate a kind and empathetic heart, patience nurtures our inner calm, enabling us to navigate life's challenges with grace and serenity. It's easy to become frustrated when things don't go as planned or when we face setbacks. But, as Buddhists believe, patience is the antidote to frustration and stress. It is not just about waiting for things to change, but about cultivating a mindset that embraces the natural pace of life, with trust that everything unfolds in its own time. Let me share a personal story to illustrate the deep impact of patience. Several years ago, I was involved in a project that seemed like it would never come to fruition. The deadlines were constantly pushed back, and despite all my efforts, progress felt painfully slow. Frustration began to creep in, and I was on the verge of giving up. That's when a friend shared a powerful piece of wisdom with me. Patience isn't about waiting for things to happen. It's about learning to accept where you are and trusting that things will fall into place when the time is right. These words made me pause and reflect. I realized that the more I resisted the slow process, the more frustrated I became. It was only when I embraced patience, accepting the present moment and releasing my desire for immediate results, that I found peace in the journey. Eventually, that project came to life, and I realized that the delay had given me the time I needed to refine my approach and make it even better. Patience is often misunderstood as passivity, but in reality, it is an active practice. It's about taking deliberate action while accepting that outcomes may take time to materialize. Whether it's waiting for personal growth, career advancements, or healing from emotional wounds, patience allows us to maintain hope and keep moving forward without getting discouraged by the inevitable bumps along the way. The Buddhist teaching of right effort ties beautifully into patience. Right effort encourages us to put forth our best effort without clinging to specific outcomes. It's the understanding that we are doing our part, but we must also allow space for the universe or life's natural flow to take its course. This approach alleviates the anxiety of controlling every situation, helping us to develop trust in ourselves and the process. One remarkable aspect of patience is its ability to shift our perspective. When we approach life with patience, we start seeing challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. When things don't go according to plan, instead of panicking or becoming bitter, we can approach it with an open mind, curious about what this delay might teach us. We learn that there is value in the waiting and that sometimes the best things in life are worth the wait. For instance, imagine a gardener waiting for a seed to sprout. No matter how often the gardener checks on the seed, it won't grow faster by rushing the process. Patience in gardening is about trusting that the soil, the water, and the sunshine are all working together in perfect harmony, even though the gardener can't see the roots growing beneath the surface. Similarly, in our own lives, patience teaches us to trust the unseen process of growth and to wait for the results that will come when the time is right. Patience, when cultivated through mindfulness and compassion, becomes a tool for peace. It allows us to weather life's storms with a sense of steadiness and tranquility, knowing that nothing is permanent and everything will pass in its own time. Through this, we are better equipped to handle difficulties without losing our sense of balance. As we continue on this journey of self-mastery, we will now explore the final, yet equally vital, teaching of Buddhist wisdom, understanding impermanence, and how recognizing the transient nature of life can bring us true freedom and peace. Embracing impermanence. The path to freedom building upon the practice of patience. The next vital Buddhist teaching that brings peace into our lives is the profound understanding of impermanence. Patience allows us to move through life with acceptance, but it's the deep realization of impermanence that truly frees us from the chains of attachment and suffering. When we acknowledge that everything in life, whether joyful or painful, is temporary, we unlock the wisdom to embrace life's natural flow and find contentment in the present moment. I remember a time when I struggled with the idea of impermanence. Several years ago, I experienced the loss of a loved one. The pain was overwhelming, and I found myself holding on to the memories, hoping that things would somehow go back to the way they were. I clung desperately to the past, refusing to accept that change had occurred. But one day, while meditating, I recalled the words of the Buddha, "Everything that has a beginning has an end." Those words were like a gentle but firm reminder. Life moves forward, whether we are ready or not, and nothing remains the same. Through this realization, I found peace in knowing that grief, like joy, was temporary. And in that very moment, I began to heal. Understanding impermanence doesn't mean that we become detached or apathetic. Instead, it helps us to live more fully by embracing the beauty of the fleeting moments. When we accept that life is transient, we learn to appreciate every experience, knowing that nothing lasts forever. It is this acceptance that allows us to cultivate gratitude, even in the face of loss or hardship. Just as the seasons change, so too do our experiences and emotions. Nothing is fixed, and that truth brings a sense of freedom. In Buddhist teachings, impermanence is often symbolized by the image of a river, ever flowing, never the same from one moment to the next. Life, too, is like a river, constantly changing its course. We can either resist the flow, leading to frustration, or we can surrender to it, finding peace in the rhythm of change. For example, think of a beautiful sunset. We know it will fade away, but instead of lamenting its fleeting nature, we cherish its beauty while it lasts. By accepting impermanence, we begin to see life in its purest form, an ever-changing cycle of birth, growth, decay, and rebirth. When we truly embrace impermanence, we free ourselves from the burden of expectation. We stop clinging to outcomes and stop fearing loss. In doing so, we create space for a deeper level of peace, as we are no longer held hostage by the fear of change. We begin to live in the moment, appreciating the present without attachment to what is gone or what is yet to come. The past no longer weighs us down, and the future no longer causes anxiety. A powerful example of embracing impermanence comes from the practice of letting go. I had a friend who, after facing a series of setbacks in her career, held on to the hope that one specific job opportunity would be her ultimate success. She focused all her energy on that one goal, but when the opportunity fell through, she was devastated. After some time, she came across a quote by the Buddha: "Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die." This made her realize that she was holding on to the idea of success, when true success lies in adaptability and openness to life's constant flow. She eventually let go of the attachment and embraced the new possibilities that came her way. Through this, she learned to trust the impermanent nature of everything and found peace in every turn of life. In the end, embracing impermanence is about learning to flow with life, rather than resisting it. It frees us from the anxiety of needing things to remain the same and helps us find joy in each passing moment. As we continue to deepen our understanding of Buddhist wisdom, we will now explore the final step towards inner peace: the importance of mindfulness in living a balanced and fulfilled life. Living in the present. The power of mindfulness. After understanding the impermanent nature of life, the final Buddhist teaching that can transform our lives is mindfulness. It's the essential practice that allows us to be fully present in every moment, free from distractions, regrets, or worries about the future. When we live in the present, we stop chasing after the past or the future, and instead, we embrace what is here and now, finding peace in each breath. I remember a time when I was consumed by stress. Life felt like a constant race. There was always something to do, a deadline to meet, and an unending list of worries running through my mind. It was during this chaotic time that a dear friend shared the concept of mindfulness with me. "Stop living in your head," he told me. "Be present. You can only experience life in the moment." It was a simple statement, yet it resonated deeply with me. I realized that I had been so focused on everything that could go wrong in the future or replaying mistakes from the past that I wasn't truly living. I was missing the beauty and peace of the present moment. Mindfulness is not just about meditation. It's about engaging fully in whatever you're doing. Whether you're eating, walking, or simply sitting, being mindful means bringing your full attention to the experience. It means not letting your mind wander to what happened yesterday or what might happen tomorrow. Instead, you focus on the sensations of now, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the taste of your food, or the rhythm of your breath. In doing so, you start to feel a deep connection to the world around you, and you cultivate an inner sense of peace. I remember taking a walk in the park after I began practicing mindfulness. I had walked that path many times before, but that day, I was truly present. The rustling of the leaves, the soft chirp of the birds, and the breeze against my face, all of it felt new, like I was experiencing the world for the first time. It was as if the world had slowed down, and I was in perfect harmony with everything around me. This simple moment of mindfulness reminded me that there is so much beauty in life when we stop rushing through it. The practice of mindfulness helps us break free from the noise of the mind. Our thoughts often create a storm of worries, anxieties, and distractions, but mindfulness teaches us to focus on the present and let go of the unnecessary mental clutter. It's like stepping into a calm ocean, where the waves of stress and anxiety no longer have the power to overwhelm us. Instead of getting caught in the turmoil, we find ourselves anchored in the peace of the moment. Another powerful example of mindfulness came when I had a difficult conversation with a colleague. In the past, I would have become defensive, replaying my thoughts in my head as I tried to come up with a perfect response. But in this moment, I chose to be mindful. I listened fully, without judgment, and let my colleague express themselves without interrupting. I realized that mindfulness wasn't just about being present with ourselves, but with others too. It allowed me to respond with compassion, understanding, and clarity, rather than reacting with frustration or anger. When we live mindfully, we begin to see life as it is, impermanent, yet beautiful, messy, and meaningful. Mindfulness anchors us in the present, reminding us that life is happening right now. Every moment offers an opportunity for growth, connection, and peace. We don't have to wait for the future or dwell on the past. All we need to do is show up, fully present, and embrace the now. Through mindfulness, we unlock a deep sense of gratitude and serenity, and in doing so, we discover the joy of truly living. Hey there, amazing souls! If this video touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment your thoughts below, and share your personal experiences with mindfulness. Your thoughts mean the world to us, and we love hearing how these teachings are impacting your life. Sparkling heart, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out our other content, each one filled with valuable wisdom, life-changing perspectives, and lots of love to help you grow. Seedling, don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more amazing content coming your way. Raising hands, remember, we are all in this journey together. Let's keep spreading positivity, peace, and mindfulness. Sparkles.